It's the Al Travis Show. One of our faves is in. She is Stephanie Miller. She's got Zero Waste Living, the 80-20 way. You should pick it up. Zero Waste in D.C. is her website. Busy Person's Guide to a Lighter Footprint. Love having her on. Stephanie, how are you today?
I'm doing great, Al. How are you?
Good. I can't complain today. It's the start of another year. Now, I remember when my oldest son got married. I guess it would have been 2020, 2021. Oh. 2021, the year of my son, is what we called it, because of all the crap that is dedicated to these two humans that are getting married. I mean, it's like my life stopped because,
Yeah.
So my middle son got engaged, right? Lovely gal. We're very happy. But now I realize the next 10 months, it's the summer of Tate, and there's nothing I can do about it. Everything is out of my control. He's going to say, hey, we're having an engagement party this date. I just have to stop golfing, go up there and do that. I just have to.
Yes, you do. Yes.
See, there's something wrong with that. We're making these kids too big the focal point, I think. But I mean, the wedding day itself, but take this. Somebody just closed the door behind you. It just moved automatically. Are you in a ghost-ridden home? Holy shit.
There are ghosts in the house. Yeah, no, listen, it's a one. I wonder if your wife feels the same way that you do, but.
Oh, no.
That's another story. I think, first of all, congratulations.
Okay.
Sorry, you were going to say something else, because I wanted to say something about the wedding.
Well, no, I'd like to talk the wedding, but it's getting so weird. I was going to ask you, when you got engaged, and if you can remember that far back when you got engaged, how many people were there? I mean, family and friends.
People were at the wedding?
Engagement. Here's what happened, and this is why, and I love my kid. I'm not ripping it. But it was going to be this cool little thing behind the church where the big group to get out of the church. So after church, everybody knew about it, candles. And then about, 20 of us, parents and brothers and sisters, were invited to be there when we do it. So we knew about it before she did. Which again seems a little, but then you had videos of it all, cameras of it all, it's this whole thing so the world can get it online 2 minutes later.
Yes.
That's not how we did that in my day.
No. I'm the same day, so to speak, that we didn't do it back then. There wasn't the social media stuff. But okay, no, we didn't have that. I mean, look, my second, I'm in my second marriage and hopefully my last marriage. And when we got engaged, it was during COVID. We had just gone to get our first COVID test together before my husband was flying out to Ethiopia, I think. And he was packing his bag and he said, could we stop a second? And anyway, so there was no video, and he got on a knee and proposed. And we sent a little picture, and that was it. So this is 4 years ago.
But that's an age thing. You weren't growing up. Yeah, it's an age thing. You weren't growing up taking photos of everything you did. And it's fine. It was really nice. Got great pictures. Okay, fine. But that's just the start of this whole thing. Because now my wife, do you think I get to help pick out the dress? And she's always out spent all these days. Like, they going to leave me alone? Because they have bachelor party weekends now. My bachelor party was a Saturday night, started at 7 o'clock. We were all pretty much done by midnight. It is what it was. Yeah. This is a weekend thing.
Yeah,
I'm too old for that. Don't invite your old man. I can't party for a weekend. It's not who I am.
My niece just got married. It was a beautiful wedding, but I like to tease her that when they give you options you could do an engagement party and anyway, her answer was yes. Instead of you could do this or that, she basically picked the whole menu of options. And so here's a question for you that I think determines what your next year is going to be like. When is the wedding?
End of May, as I understand it, maybe early June, something in there.
Okay, so the good news is you don't have an entire year of lead up to
it's not going to ruin the entire golf summer. Completely agree with you there. Right. Absolutely right. No, so that's a good one. But let's talk weddings from your perspective, though. And we've done it before. Maybe it was your niece's wedding. Ways that people can save the planet while still enjoying the nuptials of getting married. About 2 years after I got married, I came up with the greatest wedding plan of all time because I realized my wife and I wasted a lot of money.
Yeah.
Nothing we did on the day we got married is because we're still married 30 years later. How big the cake was, whether the flowers were the right color. None of that kept us married, in my opinion. So here is the Al's way of getting married. And I would have done it on a Thursday.
Okay.
Because the big bar here at Fairmont at the Holiday Inn had a disc jockey guy. So you got entertainment.
Right.
They had the free Taco Thursday, a taco bar, Taco Thursday bar. Churches, you can run them for next to nothing on Thursday. Ain't nobody getting married on a Thursday. So you get married on a Thursday.
Okay.
Tell everybody we're heading to Torgy's for the disco thing and hors d'oeuvres.
Okay.
Boom. I told my wife, when we send people, back in the day, we didn't have the internet, so we would send invites out.
Yep.
You see these invites? They got a little piece of paper in between the invite and the envelope, and they answer me back and all the rest of this stuff. And then when everybody gets, you got to send the stamp. Seriously? I got to pay for you if you want to come? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
And then when it's all said and done, you got to do the same thing with thanking people for the gift. Here's Al's out. I send one. It's not going to have no tissue paper. I'm cheap. It's just going to be a card saying, hey, if you can make the wedding, here's the date. It's at Torgy's, 7 o'clock. Bring your dancing shoes. Should you decide to bring a gift, I'd like to now say thank you for that. Don't feel obligated. I'm saying, what are you laughing at?
Sorry.
Then there's no plasticware. They're a fancy restaurant. They're going to have dishes and glassware, and they're going to wash it, and there's no waste. Don't tell me I'm not right up your alley on this. Yeah.
You were absolutely right up my alley on that. However, okay, how many people? Okay. How many years ago did you get married?
Oh, it's 30. Going on 31.
How many people in the last 30 years have you convinced to do it the way?
Yeah, no, I don't push it hard enough, to be quite frank, and none of my family's done it either. But you're just as married. Do you get the point? Now, you're the Save the Planet chick. I bet you yours was closer to mine than the standard marriage, right? When you got married, did you have all the waste? Were you okay with the waste?
Which wedding?
Your second. Your last. Let's go with the last.
Less waste. Definitely less than my first wedding, for example.
Let's go to break, and I want to hear this on the other side. A good grab right there. We're going to talk all about Stephanie Miller's wedding.
No, I want to talk about your son's wedding.
Okay,
the
we'll do that.
lessons you can take for your son's wedding.
All right, we'll do that on the other side. It's Stephanie Miller, the 80/20 way on the Al Travis Show. All right, we're back. It's the 80/20 way with Stephanie Miller. Just, okay, so you had left waste. Here's what we've talked about this 3-4 years ago. Maybe it was your wedding, maybe it was your daughter. I don't remember. But we're talking about all the unnecessary things that happen, right? All of a sudden, you don't want a big mess, so you buy all the paper plates. We got to be extra special paper plates with the gold and the meat match your silverware and your fake silverware and all the rest. You know this is a nightmare for people in your line of work, if you will, right?
Yes.
The wedding itself.
Yes.
So how do I fix it?
400 pounds is the average amount of garbage produced at an American wedding. So I went back and I looked at the blog that I wrote after I got married 3 years ago. And I realized, I just reread it, and I realized that it has a lot of staying power, first of all. I realized that you had given me this great advice that I took in real time, which was you challenged me, why do you need a paper invitation? And because of you, all those invitations we sent out, 100 some, were by email. They were e-invites.
See,
so my credit for that.
Oh, cool. Because my son has already talked. They're going to do the save the date thingy, right?
Yeah.
Strictly by email. And if they don't have somebody's email, they'll find it. Who doesn't have an email or phone call? So text, one way or the other. It's going electronic as well. So good. But that's new.
That's
30 years ago. Could do.
So you convinced me, and you somehow influenced your son, I'm sure, by osmosis. But here's the number one thing I think that makes a difference in terms of how much bad impact your wedding is going to have. Is it local, or is it a destination wedding? Is your son's local or
it's not local for me. It's local for them. It's up in the Twin Cities. 90% of the people will be there. My wife and I will travel. Yeah, no, it's a local. It's not. We're not going to Peru or something. No, it's
You'll
local.
drive. You're not flying.
Yeah,
for
Yeah.
example. Yeah.
Everybody. Yes.
So, yeah, so we were, for my wedding, we were considering getting married in another state, in another town. And we ended up 5 minutes from the house at this beautiful reserve, nature
Hmm.
reserve. That your son's decision to do that already is probably check that box, probably one
Oh,
of the biggest things he could
didn't know.
do to save on carbon emissions
Sure.
related to his wedding. So then the next big thing is the food. So I assume he's hiring a caterer.
Well, I mean, this all happened weeks ago. Yes, though somebody will cater it, but this is to back to my point of either having it at a really nice place or something where they have hardware and
Yeah.
not
Yeah, not
plasticware, or that
plasticware. Yeah,
that's the better way to go, right? I mean, it may not be as fancy or
absolutely.
match the color of whatever you want, but that would save the planet if you do that.
Absolutely. But there are a whole bunch of other things. Would you put me in touch with your son?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he'll love an
Uh,
anonymous call from Stephanie Miller and just like, yeah, your dad told me I could call you and discuss
yeah.
your wedding.
Yeah, what's
So
his name?
I'll do that.
Tate?
Tate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll call Tate and I'll say, here are the top three questions you need to ask your caterer to
Okay.
drastically reduce the
Would,
impact of
do you
your.
have those on the top of your head? I presume it's whether they reuse the stuff. The other one I would say is the amount of food you offer. When you say 400 pounds of waste, I'm thinking, how can that, let's say 200 is the average number of people at our wedding. Everybody's producing 2 pounds of garbage. It's got to be the food waste.
Yeah. So it's not only the food waste, but it is a lot of it is the food waste. And so the
Yeah.
questions for the caterer have to do with the food. I mean, I hope that the caterer is going to use real china
Yeah.
and, in terms of plastic waste and other kind of
Yeah.
waste, it's not food waste, you know, not bottled water,
Yeah. Yeah.
water in pitchers. If you need beer in
I like
aluminum
that.
cans, make sure they're recycled, those kind of things.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then you get to the real, no pun intended, meat of the matter, which is the food itself. So, and I know, Al, I know you long enough now that this is a topic I actually try to avoid with you. But to the extent that you cannot have steak as one of the options at the wedding, that carbon emissions wise would be a very wise
Well,
decision.
and even on that, just be cheap. That is the most expensive thing you're going to, if you're going to have a steak on the menu,
As always,
the money's
you
off
and
the chart.
I
So, yeah.
converge when my environmental concerns also mean less money spent. I know
Yeah.
we've got that. That's good. But yeah, so we had meat at our wedding, but instead of beef, which is what my husband
Mm.
thought we had to have as an
Yeah.
offer, we had pork, which is
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of hearty vegetarian options. But then there's what exactly the point you made a minute ago, which is what about the quantities? And the
Yes.
good news about weddings is good caterers are really understand what
Portion
the
control.
quantity, yeah, what the portions need to be, but they need to have a plan for what doesn't get eaten.
See,
So is there a charitable organization it gets sent to? Is it
no,
composted?
and
Those are
that
the
would
big
see now
questions.
you're gonna make me feel bad. I had this discussion because I said walking tacos. You know, you get the Doritos in the bag and you crush them and then you put the meat in. It's a very high school kind of thing, which he wasn't too thrilled about. But I said everybody loves them. Plus, you got the meat all made up and it's over there. Everybody can take some home at the end of the night and we don't waste any of it. You see what I'm saying?
I
So
love it.
yeah, I don't think it's going to happen, but that was my thought in the walking tacos. Then you said give it away to charity. I suggested to him, whatever you decide, make it something your new bride will take home and be able to eat for 6 months if that's what it is, or give it away to other family members and say, hey, it's already paid for, but eat it. I said this idea that,
Yes.
I guess I don't want to put fish is a bad idea. If you had some fish and it sits out for 5, 6 hours, it's really not a lot of fun to say, hey, you want to take some warm fish home. Doesn't sit
Yeah.
well. So chicken or pork and stuff. I'm just saying, some is better than others. They need to figure that out. Well, you look at me. You think fish is
Not
good after sitting
sure.
out there? Oh, come
I'm
on.
not sure chicken sitting out for 5 hours is much
Oh,
better
well, I
than
bet.
fish sitting out for 5 hours. But you're making the most important point, which is have a plan so
Yeah,
that if and when there are leftovers, we know who's going to take them home.
yeah,
Is it going to be the bride and the groom? Is it going to be the friends and family? We
yeah,
we dined off our leftovers from the wedding for like a good
yeah,
week.
yeah,
Freeze the stuff that you can freeze, that sort of
yeah.
thing. Have a plan.
We didn't get time to get to it, but I know flowers is a big thing, and I know flower people hate when I do this, but flowers are a big deal, and are they necessary, and how many, and how much, because of all the stuff that's left over at the end of the wedding. You're taking the bouquet home, yeah, and everything else is, even the guys' lapel pins, all that, ain't nobody saving it but you.
I've got flower lessons for next time.
Love it. Stephanie, thank you for taking time to be with me. I do appreciate it. It's a lot of fun.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Stephanie Miller, the 80-20 way. Pick it up. Zero Waste Living, the 80-20 way to go to zerowasteinDC.com. Back with more right after this on the Al Travis Show.